Today I'm going to be making two recipes that I'm going to reboot or revise, so stick around. Hi, Debbie Chu here from Chew on Vegan. Welcome back to my kitchen. If you're new here, I'm a plant-based RN. I follow a whole food plant-based way of eating. On this channel, you're going to find quick and easy whole food plant-based recipes. So if that sounds good to you, please subscribe. You can also follow me on Instagram for more plant-based content. Be sure to check out the description box because that's where the recipes will be. I'll put the full recipe down there. There's also some links to some really cool things down there, like my Facebook group, my e-guide, my newsletter. I also have an online course. So if you've been struggling with this whole food plant-based way of eating, or maybe you're just beginning, then check out my course. So today I'll be making two recipes. The first one is going to be my Sloppy Joes. Now the original recipe calls for lentils, and if you want to use the original recipe, you go right ahead. But I'm going to be subbing those lentils for some TVP, for some higher protein. Now let's talk about the protein. I feel like I need to address this in almost every video that I do because of the comments I get. I am not eating too much protein. I am not overdoing protein. I am doing the amount of protein that is right for my body as a 67-year-old postmenopausal woman. I need more protein at this stage of my life because as we get older, we don't absorb our nutrients as well as we did when we were younger. I'm also trying to maintain and build some muscle. So protein is very important. I know that all vegetables, they have some type of protein in some varying degrees. I am just making sure that at every meal I'm adding some beans, legumes, or tofu, or edamame, or TVP, tempeh to my plate. This is in no way excessive, but I have seen a huge change in my energy level and my body composition, so I'm sticking with it. The first few years that I did strict starch solution, it worked great for me. I was eating potatoes and broccoli and I had my cheese sauce, but I really wasn't worrying about making sure I had beans or legumes, and maybe that was my fault. But I noticed the last year or so, things were changing. So I have made this change. It's working great for me. If what you're doing is working for you, then keep doing it. Like I always say, we got to do what's best for ourselves. I'm not telling you need to eat this way. I'm not promoting that you need to eat this way. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. And you can always substitute the TVP or the tempeh or the tofu for beans, chickpeas, whatever. So that's going to be the first one. The second one's going to be my one pot creamy pasta. And the switch I'm going to make there, instead of using my normal gluten-free pasta, which has like 4 grams of protein per serving, I will be using chickpea pasta, which has 21 grams of protein per serving. So it's an easy swap, and I'm still making the recipe exactly the same, except for that change. So let's get started on the Sloppy Joes. So I've got 1 cup of TVP, which stands for textured vegetable protein. It's just soy, nothing scary, okay? And that's all that's in here. I'm just gonna add 1 cup of warm water. And we're just gonna stir it around and set it aside, and this will rehydrate in just a few minutes. And you can season if you want, but I'm not going to. I'm going to be putting a lot of seasonings in my Sloppy Joes, and this will pick up all the flavors, just like a tofu or a tempeh would. All right, I will meet you at the stove. So you want to start with your nonstick pan, put some water in there, and we're going to add 1 green bell pepper that I have chopped. You want a pretty small chop there. And then a half of an onion. And then we're just going to let this saute until these get soft, probably about 5 minutes. And I'm on medium heat. All right, these are looking good. Now I'm going to add a teaspoon of minced garlic. Give that a stir. Then I'm going to add a 15-ounce can of tomato sauce. And all my spices. So we've got cumin, smoked paprika, chili powder. So let's stir this around. And you're just gonna do salt and pepper to taste. I'm not adding any extra salt. The tomato sauce has salt. Then I'm gonna use 2 tablespoons of A1 sauce. You can normally use vegan Worcestershire, which is what I normally use, but I was totally out. So this is a good substitute. Then we're gonna add in our TVP. And then of course you wanna get this all incorporated. And then I'm just gonna let this simmer for, I don't know, 5-10 minutes. I just want the TVP to soak up all those flavors. And then you want to taste it and make sure you don't need anything else. But this is basically it. It's super easy to make. All right, we'll let this simmer and then I'll show you how I serve my Sloppy Joes. So I just have a Yukon Gold potato. I baked a bunch at the beginning of the week, so I just reheated it in the microwave. And then I'm just gonna put my Sloppy Joes over the potato. All right, let's give this a taste. All right, here is our Sloppy Joes. And I love having it on a potato, but you could totally put it on a bun or bread or whatever you want. Let's taste this. So good. Definitely got that, definitely has that Sloppy Joe vibe. So just making a simple swap, I've increased my protein, and that makes it easier for me to hit my protein goals for the day. All right, now we're gonna do that 1-pot creamy pasta. You're gonna love this one, it's so easy. Again, I'm gonna meet you over at the stove. I'm starting with 1 chopped onion and a little bit of water here on medium heat. We're gonna let this go for about 5 minutes, and then we're just going to add pretty much everything into this pot. All right, this is looking good. This is looking good. I'm just gonna add about a teaspoon of minced garlic, and we'll just let this cook for like a minute. This pot is like a musical instrument here. Then we're gonna add some spices. I have garlic salt, I've got onion powder, I've got some red pepper flakes, some Italian seasoning, and then I'm gonna add a couple tablespoons of tomato paste. Get that all stirred in. Get that all stirred in with the onions. 2 cups of water. 2 cups of plant milk. I'm using soy because it has more protein. Get this all stirred around. Next, I'm going to add a box of this chickpea rotini, and this is, as you can see, 21 grams of protein. Okay, we're just going to bring this to a boil, and then we're going to let it simmer for about 10 minutes. And I forgot to tell you that I added a no chicken bouillon cube in here. If you don't have that, just use 2 cups of veggie broth. All right, next we're going to add a cup of cherry tomatoes that I just cut in half. We're going to add some nutritional yeast. You can leave it out if you don't like it. Just a couple tablespoons. I'm going to turn the heat off and just give this a nice stir. Then I'm adding 5 ounces of baby spinach. And it's going to look like a lot, but it will cook down quite quickly, and I That's why I turn the heat off. We just want it to wilt. So you stir it a couple times, put the lid on, and then check on it, stir it again. Now you can see how much that spinach cooked down. All right, I'm gonna plate this up and we're gonna give it a taste. All right, here we go, finished product. I love this meal. I mean, it's such a great thing to have it in all-in-one pot. I love that. And it only takes minutes, really, and you're eating dinner. It's perfect. All right, let's give it a taste. Get some spinach in there. Mmm. So good. It's so creamy, so cheesy, with no cheese and no butter, no milk. And we've got that higher protein pasta. What's not to love? I hope you liked this video, hope you learned something. If you did, please give it a like and share it with your friends. And I just want to say again, if this is not your journey, then that's okay. You don't have to do everything that I'm doing. If what you're doing is working for you, then please stick with that. Like I said in the beginning, my needs have changed since, I've been plant-based for almost 13 years, so my needs have changed over the years, and yours probably will too. We just have to do what works for us. But hopefully you can get something out of these videos, even if you're not doing it exactly as I am doing it. If you made it this far in the video, please comment below with recipe reboot, and that way I know you made it to the end with me, and I really appreciate it. The full recipe will be in the description box along with all the other links. I have a discount code in there for some really good protein powder. You can check that out as well. And remember that all my recipes are good for you, they're good for the animals, and they're good for the planet, and what you put on your plate determines your fate and your weight. Until next time, thank you.